here in Australia, 23 August 2019, and it's 8:30 in the morning, Friday morning here. So let's quickly have a look at Ethereum. I'm going to spend about just 5 minutes, guys. We all know the charts. You've read the blog posts. In general terms, if I can sum it up for today, I believe that we are perfectly on track and everything is running according to our algorithm. And you can probably see that our algorithm data is getting better and better every single week. Now, let's just stay humble and hopefully our calls are correct. So let's quickly have a look here at Ethereum. Ethereum has now completed the ABC correction, which is that pink line there. Now, our lowest point for Ethereum that I expected was about 119. And you can see that Ethereum literally dropped into, I think, about 173. That was also when you, I think, Bill, you sent me a text or a message. You said, oh, Ethereum at 173. That's that red line there, guys. So that's the low point. And you can now see that Ethereum is now starting to move upwards. It's made that loop more or less according to our algorithm data. The algorithm data, just for the new people who are on the call here, is this little line here that we started drawing in about here from 15 July. The next what we can expect is that Ethereum is going to go upwards sideways up to this level here. In about 21 days, we are going to have a breakout here in Ethereum, and that is that breakout here that we see. The consolidating phase for Ethereum is around about this level here of about 220, 230. I want to see Ethereum head up into that level first. We are going to consolidate. That consolidation phase is Ethereum getting ready, guys, to jump 1,000%. Okay, so Ethereum perfectly on track. I don't believe there's anything here to worry about. I also do believe that at this point here, when Ethereum hits this level here, somewhere around here, is that Bitcoin could be around about 17 to 18,000. Let me just get my voice right here. Give me a sec.
That's going to have to hurry up there. It's not far down the road at all.
Yeah, exactly, Vince. Now, I'm going to get into Bitcoin shortly. Now, I'm going to present to you what I believe could happen with Bitcoin. It could be that 17,000 only happens around about here. Okay, so let me actually put this in. So how do you copy that? We just say clone. Thank you. I'm just going to quickly do this here. 14K. Now we're either going to see 14K there and somewhere around here, somewhere around there, 17 or 18K. But let's just have a look at Ethereum first. Now I'm going to get into Litecoin quickly. Now, again, the same with Litecoin. Let's quickly have a look here. From this point here, 15 July, we follow that algorithm pattern. It went up to a high point here, it came down to this low point here. We believe the low point for Litecoin was at 70. I personally have canceled all my orders below 60. I don't believe it's going to go lower, simply because this ABC correction, there's actually 3 waves in here coming down to this bottom, especially when you look at Litecoin on the 4-hour chart. So just to give you that idea, the last leg, you look at one down here, 2 up there, 3 down here. You can probably argue 4 up there and then 5 down here, a little bit lower. Remember last week I said that we just need to touch lower than that one there, just lower than that. And so we believe that is the low, which happened yesterday or the day before, basically. So we are going to see a move upwards here, breaking these levels, breaking those, all those algorithm lines. So let's go back to the daily. Now, it could be that this algorithm line moves on maybe a day. It simply just means that this high point will just be a day later. So let's just move that back and keep it where it was. So effectively, guys, what I see here is that we could potentially have a very strong move upwards, something similar like this, a next move like this, and then staggering upwards till we hit a high point here in about 4 or 5 days. Now, I believe that this strong move could potentially happen over this weekend. And if it does happen over this weekend, it will actually defy what normally happens over a weekend. Normally over a weekend, we have a drop. But in this case, I expect that we are going to have an uptrend into that level there. Again, don't look at the dates, guys. The dates are irrelevant in this case because Bitcoin is at the point where it's going to break out and become extremely bullish. It's kind of like you're on the racetrack and all the cars are getting ready and they're lining up on the Formula One and they're waiting for that green sign to move. And everything must line up first before we get this breakout here. So I'm still expecting this heartbeat, the A, B, C, that will be the heartbeat, and then back into D, then the heartbeat is complete. And guys, if that heartbeat does work out, get ready for 22,000 Bitcoin and beyond, because that is the catalyst also that will drive Litecoin most likely to $3,000 or $4,000 here by the year end going into next year, January, February. Okay, so I've gone Ethereum, I've done that, I've done Litecoin. Let's go to Bitcoin Cash. You can see that Bitcoin Cash is a very strong coin. It didn't drop as far as what we thought it would. I thought it's going to go to about 217. As a matter of fact, it just touched that blue line there of about 260. But nonetheless, remember that we said don't get fixated on the price. You know, the spread can be 10, 20, or $30. But nonetheless, it did make that drop there, came back very quickly to form a green candle. And then you can see it's a bit of a drop here. It's going to go up sideways, similar to that of Ethereum. And come here 9, 10, 11 September, we are going to see a breakout. So expect now the movement upwards here in Bitcoin Cash. Now, just a reminder, guys, what you need to remember about Bitcoin Cash. Look at this now. Bitcoin, when Bitcoin last year was $10,000, Bitcoin Cash was $2,000. Can you see how undervalued Bitcoin Cash is? It's extremely undervalued. Go back and have a look last year. When Bitcoin was $10,000, Bitcoin Cash was $2,000. The real figure for Bitcoin Cash at this moment should be about 1738. It's way, way, way trailing behind. Now, let's go. So big momentum coming here. Let's have a look here at EOS quickly. I believe that EOS, remember that it's done this left side, right side shoulder. It came down all the way to that point there. The way that we identify this low level here, if you normally take the drop from the head right down to the bottom and you take that down, right down to this level, you more or less get your blue line that I put in there. That's your drop. And we said initially that it could drop to about $3. I do believe that this low point here that we just made, let's just zoom in there, that we made here is the last low. It's a little bit higher than this low here. So that low is there, that's a higher low there. From now onwards, as we said last week, it's going to make a turnaround and move upwards. Our first target here is this target here. And let me just put that in, guys. Of course, it's going to go higher. You know, you can simply hold Ethereum, Bitcoin Cash, Litecoin, as well as EOS. You simply hold it. It's going to go upwards past $6. But our first target I want to see is around about this level here of $5. But a good buy at this moment. Neo, the same with Neo, guys. You can see that this yellow this yellow channel that we have from the top there, touching there, this yellow channel on the bottom, you can see that we've had this 5 waves. That one there, we had an ABC correction here in that point there. Then we had this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, completing the wave. That now is actually a breakout. It doesn't look like it, but from our algorithm data, it's a breakout of the channel upwards. Everything is starting to point upwards. And so NEO actually looks really good. Again with NEO, some people still hold NEO. Don't sell it because it's going to go, guys, to insane levels. Let's quickly get into Digibyte. Digibyte perfectly on track. You can see here that we had this red channel line here, and we said that Digibyte is expected to come downwards, and it touched exactly on that point there of 0.008. It's now going to start to move upwards. So expect an upwards move, a downwards trend. Follow this blue or dark purple line. Now, I do expect, guys, that Digibyte is going to make one more lower low than what it's already made. And that lower low is going to come in there just before it breaks out. Again, I'm giving you an indicative date of 10-11 September. It could be, guys, that this actually moves forward or maybe a day or two later. But what I'm looking at, if you zoom in, this is why I said on Twitter, and when I tweeted it out, I said, don't buy Digibyte yet. Move your money rather into Bitcoin and Litecoin Ethereum, because you're going to have an option to buy Digibyte right there. Lower, maybe a little bit lower than that point there. So you could possibly see this at about, you know, if you want to pinch pennies now, you can see 0.0081629, just a little bit lower. But the point is, guys, whether you sell here at the top and you come back and buy in the bottom here, you simply just hold. For those people who can't identify the high and low points, it's very difficult to do. And remember, we do long-term trading. We don't do day trading. Whether you buy now as well, it's okay. All you're going to have to do, guys, is you're going to have to wait 21 days. See from here, right through to there, it gives you around about 21 days. Actually, with the day included, it will just there. So for 21 days, we are going to go sideways. It's going to frustrate a lot of people. Remember, we've been going sideways now for 60 days. Imagine another 21 days. But in this 21 days, you will see Digibyte go up to this high point here. And let's have a look at that percentage there. If you look at the price range from about there to there, that's about 35%. So if you make that 30 to 35%, you're welcome to sell at that point where Digibyte hits that top and then come back. You can have an opportunity to buy it 3 times, in my opinion. You can have an option to buy it here. It's going to drop into this point here. It's going to give you another drop there, and the final drop is this drop that I'm talking about here. 3 times a drop. Bang, 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 you buy, and it's going to spike upwards. Guys, if I give you the percentage that I see Digibyte rise, I will probably sound like an insane man. So I don't want anybody to call me here insane. So Shamsa will be the first one to call me insane. So I'd rather just keep quiet about it. But guys, it's thousands of percent.
Tell us.
I believe everything you say.
I'm not going to call you crazy. I'm just, you know, wanting to get a sense as to where we're going. And,
yes, spill the beans. Spill the beans, Mario.
Spill the beans.
It's about hope.
Yeah, guys.
Don't do it, Marius. Don't do it.
Half the number.
At this moment, it probably is about hope, you know, because you just need to look at social media. People are distraught. But luckily for us, all of us, we saw this coming months ago, okay? But guys, we see Digibyte jumping up between 17,000 and 34,000%.
Excellent.
Excellent.
Okay, Matt. Okay, Matt, you've got your answer now.
Yeah, I do,
Great.
because I got 9,000 of them.
Just hold it.
I am.
I think with Digibyte, we can go meet you guys at Fiji, right?
Oh, absolutely.
And the drinks are on me.
Well, there's a guy here. Okay, there's a guy here. I won't mention your name. Okay, but this guy has got $9 million worth of Digibyte. And he's
That's
on this
great for
call.
him.
Oh,
Digibyte is an awesome team. And remember, it's off of Bitcoin Core. So just think about that. You can watch Josiah every day on his YouTube channel, giving you little updates on what Digibyte's doing around the world.
Oh, absolutely, guys. Remember this also. I've tweeted it out, but many people don't understand it. I think all of you guys get it. But remember when I said that Digibyte, the trees have been planted and the harvest is coming. What people don't understand about Digibyte, they think Digibyte is 2 or 3 years old. Guys, it's probably one of the oldest cryptos in the world. I don't know, Vince, when did it start? Can't remember that now.
About 7 years, I think, now.
Well, 7 years, guys.
I think it's about 7 years. But yeah, I mean, they just released Digi Assets. I mean, if you haven't been checking up on Digibyte and see where it's going, you just need to go over there. And I'll put a link in for Josiah's YouTube channel because he's got stuff there every day. And they are all over Twitter.
Yeah, dump it in there. So guys, Digibyte is something that you must have in your portfolio in the next 21 days. Okay, now remember this. Now remember this, guys.
$3.
Say again?
So it should go to $3 then, more or less, Digibyte.
Yeah, guys, look, work on the first jump 1,000% in all coins. And let's keep that high percentage. I'll get into that, and I'm going to explain to you when to get out of Digibyte. There's certain points that you don't want to be in Digibyte. Okay, so, but for now, just work on 1,000% or work on the fact that come year 11 September, we are going to have a big rise in cryptos. Now, also, my prediction is that between 9, 10, and 11 September is when the altcoin season starts. And remember, I've been saying this now for months, that we will see altcoins outperform Bitcoin, but not now. It's going to happen in 21 days. Expect the Bitcoin dominance to still go up a little bit. Maybe what I should do while we are here, I am going to get into the Bitcoin dominance as well. Let me quickly see, where is my chart?
Harry, it's just TG. Just before you leave Digibyte, what's your targets for Digibyte?
I haven't got a target as per se in dollar terms, but all I see that it goes up between 17 and 34,000%. And you can just go and work it out there. But remember, guys, it's very difficult. Anybody can make any prediction. I see people on Twitter all the time. Oh, XRP is going to go to $10. Guys, 1,000 people can make the same call. They can say $10, $50, whatever. On what is the substantiation behind it? I can substantiate why Digibyte's going to go, but I'm not going to give that information out now. Otherwise, everybody will use it. And please keep our data confidential as well, you know. But closer to that time, when these coins break out, you're going to see unbelievable data that we're going to show you. And you'll make money in a very short period of time, 6, 7, 8 months. My team is working around the clock. We're going to bring you very good data. Yes, Parvis.
Yeah, what time period do you give for that rise, please?
Parvis, this is the thing. It differs from coin to coin. For example, XRP. I haven't got into XRP yet, but let's quickly go there. XRP goes up for 21.
Sorry, I was specifically speaking about Digibyte, by the way.
Yeah. So XRP goes up for 21 days, and then you want to get out. Now, with regard to Digibyte, let me just quickly have a look here. Sorry, guys, I just need to get some other data here. So each coin is different. If I give you Digibyte, now Digibyte is similar. It goes up with XRP for about 21 days. You then want to get out of it and move into different coins. It's not going to be just as easy as you buy Digibyte and you hold it now. It's going to be a little bit more complicated. I'm just looking at the data now. Now, remember, I didn't prepare for this presentation, so I can't really tell you now.
Darius, can you,
Yes.
sorry to butt in, and I'll please apologise for my stupidity here. Can you just quickly give me a price guide on what 0.012 of a Bitcoin is to the dollar value? Because like that's quite a lot of that's a lot of money's worth in Bitcoin to USD value on DigiByte.
Yeah.
TJ and Mario, if I understand Marius correctly, from the low of 0.008 multiply DigiByte 0.008 times 170,
Yeah.
up
Correct.
to as much as 340 to determine the potential price. Marius, is that correct?
I don't know why I'm so confused here.
You're looking at about $1.31 minimum.
Oh, right, okay, that makes a lot of sense. Right, thank you for clarifying that, guys. I really appreciate it.
Okay, guys, let me just quickly get on, and we're going to get into questions here. There's a lot of people who just want to see the first segment and then go to bed. Now, XRP, guys, the low for XRP is in right there. If you want to buy XRP now is the time to buy. Okay, because it's going to go up to that point there, 38 cents. It's going to drop back to 30 cents. So this is the low at guys, at 27 cents. It's a bargain. You can buy XRP now. No, this is financial advice. Please buy it. So, no, guys, remember, please, there's no financial advice. The SEC will probably watch these videos, and we're in good standing with them, and we're going to stay in good standing. And
Bill,
the SEC knows that this is training and education, guys. But for me personally, at this level here, I didn't buy at 23 cents. I bought at 24. And remember this, guys, I said on Monday, I said start laddering in your buys. And since Monday, I've started to buy XRP. And just yesterday, I bought a whole bunch of 25, 26, 27. And that's it. I've bought XRP and a bunch of it. Now, gold is still doing a very nice move upwards, consolidating before it actually breaks out of this channel here. It broke out, it came back, it's going to go up sideways upwards here, guys, into next year 2020. This coincides with a nice big Bitcoin move. If you guys just wouldn't mind to mute yourself, I'm just going to mute everybody again. So gold is going to go upwards. It coincides with a big Bitcoin move coming, guys. But gold, remember this, guys, gold is not going to go to 40,000 and 50 and 100,000 like everybody's predicting. There's too much gold in the world. There's an oversupply of gold. And people are starting to find this out now. I've always said that gold may go to $5,000. Remember this, guys. Well, if you want to make money, hold silver. You're going to see that silver. My data shows that silver should be now 130, what did I say this morning? 137 or 136. It's trailing way behind. Why? It's manipulated. Who manipulates it? China, because they use it in manufacturing of their products and they need to be competitive around the world. Guess what, guys? All the silver mines in Australia are closing down every single month. Guess what? The mines in South Africa, and there's South Africans on the call here, they already closed. There's barely any silver mines in South Africa. They have to go deep in the Congo, deep in the equator in Africa to get the silver. It doesn't cost $17 an ounce to get the silver out. From the data that I hear, it's costing upwards to $200 an ounce to get silver out of the ground. The reason it's so low is because silver, the byproduct from mining gold, that's where some of these gold companies, just to survive, they're selling the silver to get cash flow. But guess what's happening now? I've been on the calls here in Australia. The gold mines like Glencore in Australia are telling me that they're not selling their silver anymore. They're stashing it because they know there's a price spike coming. So you want to be in silver as well. The Dow Jones, just quickly, guys, we are going to see perhaps a drop here down to about 20,000, between 18 and 20. Be prepared for that in the Dow. One of the simple reasons, let me just explain this, and this is again not political stuff, guys, but you get the Democrats and the Republicans, just for those people in the rest of the world who don't know how American politics work. The Democrats hate the president. H-A-T-E. There's no other word for it. I've never seen anything like this in my entire life. They will literally want to destroy the American economy so that the president, Donald Trump, doesn't win the next election. And this is what's going to happen, a potential of a drop here. But that drop will be short-lived, my data shows. The algorithm data shows a bit of a drop, and then it comes back up. Ultimately, guys, the Dow is going to go to $40,000. The American economy, regardless of all these indicators that you see, oh, the yield curve, and this is going to drop, and that's going to drop. Guys, there won't be an economic crash this year. I've already said that in December because we saw it in our data. We saw the market just going upwards, not because of the president, but there's something magical happening in the American economy. Something has kick-started all these tariffs with money pouring into America. You can't simply stop it. Next year is going to be a different ball game. But for now, this year, we see markets going up. I don't believe we're going to see 40,000 this year, Dow, but we are going to see the Dow heading upwards. Let's get into Bitcoin quickly. Now, the last thing here, guys, Bitcoin. Now, you'll see that all these coins, like for example, Litecoin, is following the algorithm pattern perfectly. I mean, who can actually predict stuff like this from about a month ago? Now, follow the pattern, guys, not necessarily the date. Now, what I'm saying is that this pattern should follow on with Litecoin, Ethereum, Bitcoin Cash, and all this. Bitcoin is a little bit different. And I'm going to zoom into this area here. Now, remember, this is the algorithm pattern that we have, just for those new people. We started drawing that year around about 15 July and said this is what Bitcoin must follow. And at this point here, we said that there should be a breakout and then sideways and another breakout. Now, let's zoom in, and I'm going to show you what is actually happening here. Now, first of all, you must understand that if you're on cryptos, that the elite, the thugs, the banksters, the evil people in the world, they want to destroy Bitcoin. If they destroy Bitcoin, they'll destroy the entire crypto market. Now, they're trying their best to destroy it. It's very strange that exactly at this point here on 12th August, that the SEC came out and said that we will not approve an ETF. Sentiment changed and the market dropped for 3 days. Now, let me show you what should have happened. If you go here to the left-hand side and you choose the bars pattern, and we take those 3 points there, I'm just going to move them here. I'm going to inverse them, just change them the opposite way. And I'm going to put them there as if we were breaking out. Okay, there you go. Now I'm going to take this pattern here, put that there, and move that up. This is where we should be right now. Can you see there? Right there. That high point there is that high point there. Okay, that high point. This low point is this low point that we're experiencing now. Could it be? And this Y leg, guys, there's no way, unless my algorithm is completely and utterly wrong mathematically, and we've double-checked these things, triple-checked. I believe that what's going to happen is that we are going to meet somewhere a spike upwards into this level to meet that price there. Now, it could be because of this drop here that this market actually, let me just draw that in and I'll leave that in there. I see it going up here. It could be that we go sideways for a while here, a little bit more, and then spike upwards. So remember what I said, this date here of the high point, currently it shows 3 September. Don't be surprised if that moves on. What I want you to do is to focus on the pattern. Now, guess what? When these 3 days happened here, right down to that point there of 9499, guess how many people sold their Bitcoin? Thousands of people all around the world. I saw a tweet where the guy said, I'm done with Bitcoin. You know, it's going sideways for 60 days. I've sold at 9.5. It's exactly what those people want. Guess what I did when it hit that low? I bought as much as I could afford. Because, guys, it's going to break out upwards. There are a few things that I want to show you here. Now, pay very close attention here. Look at this line here. We could break out upwards here into 13 or 14,000, round about that level. Don't get fixated on the price too much that we must hit 1433.25. Guys, in a range of 13 or 14,000, that means the pattern is playing out. And as we head higher, we're going to give you figures and say we're going to hit 35,000. If it hits 33,000, that's fine. If it hits 37, it's fine. Then I'm going to tell you it's going to hit 48, more or less. If it hits 45, that's fine. And then we're going to go to 80. And if I say it's going to hit 70 and it only hits 60, that's fine. As you go higher, the numbers will despair a little bit larger. It's going to be a wider range. You can't be 100% accurate on these as you get into higher prices. And eventually, Bitcoin is going to hit 350, you know, in my opinion. So for now, I believe that this could be a high point. Now, let's go back to Litecoin. And let me show you here for Litecoin. Sorry, we had it on Ethereum. Let's go back to Ethereum. Remember where I put these two in? And I said, it could be that this high point here could be 14,000 and that we later on see the 17 or 18,000 high point. Now, let me take this. I'm going to copy this and go back to Litecoin and show you Litecoin as well. Litecoin will actually be a little bit easier to show you. So what I'm saying is this could easily be that point there, and we could see most likely one of these two scenarios. We're either going to hit 14,000 here when Litecoin goes up to this level here, C, and then 14,000 Bitcoin. And remember, then Bitcoin goes sideways and then up again together with this. That should probably around about there. So you get my understanding what I'm trying to say, that it goes up here 14,000, goes sideways and then upwards. Regardless, guys, this Y is going to play out. The Z leg is going to play out. These two are missing in the algorithm. It must play out. So that is just a quick identification of what's happening in the market. We can actually go back here. I want to show you this as well. This is basically Bitcoin on the 4-hour chart. Now, just a larger view. You can see this channel is moving upwards, way upwards. And the reason for showing you this, let me take this channel out. We're actually forming a very large, not necessarily a bull flag, but the makings of a bull flag. So if I were to take the parallel channel here and just go something like that and pull it down, let's just make that shorter. You can see more or less what I'm saying here is that this is forming either a symmetrical bullish breakout pattern, okay, a pennant, or a bull flag. Now, if you go here, just for those new people, a flag pattern is a breakout. When you get a flag pattern, it's very, very bullish. And that pole, there's your pole and there's your flag. Or you can make the pole there. Regardless, guys, how you do it, there's a big breakout coming. Now, if I were to, what did I just delete there? Okay. So if I were to take this length here, from this point to that high point there, the breakout normally from either a bullish pennant or a bull flag is that high point there. What is that high point there? Let's just quickly go and put a figure in there. 17.2, 17.6, 18,000, somewhere around there. Let's go back to Bitcoin. We believe about 17,764. We've lowered that figure from 19 to 18 and now to 17.7, about 2,500 points. And the reason is for this disparity of this drop here. Mathematically, you can only go up about 65% from about that level there, and that gives you around about 17.2, 17.7. So you can see how we lowered that. Because if you go back to Litecoin, you'll see that Litecoin is also on this bottom point there, right up to that high point there, you look at about 65–70%. The same with Ethereum. Ethereum is also the same. So this is why we are saying that it could go to 17. Once we get to 17, I believe that we could have that same drop. Remember what I said, we're going to have 2 drops. 1 year, it's going to go higher. Another one, and then we get here to 22,000. But I'm not going to get into that now because people ask too many questions, too far in advance. What we need to do is to focus on where we are now. Okay, guys, so let's get into any questions there.
Quick question,
Hi,
Marius.
Jacques here. So if I were to buy, I have a few Bitcoins on the side, waiting on the side. I'm not quite clear if what should I do? Should I just keep them or should I go and buy XRP, which is at a nice low now? What would you do?
Yeah, unfortunately, I'm not going to, on a live call, tell you what to do because we can't do that. The SEC has laid very clear rules down for us and given us like a sheet of stuff that they don't, not that we mustn't do it, but they don't want us to do it. It's just for your own protection. But I can tell you what I would do. If I had Bitcoin on the side, which I do, I've got some cash on the side, I'm looking to buy any dips here. So I will definitely buy Bitcoin here at this moment. Now, if I have 10 Bitcoin, I'm going to split them up probably in quarters. 2.5 Bitcoin in Bitcoin itself. I would definitely go and buy XRP now. Ladder in your buys. But remember this, if I take 2.5 Bitcoin, which is about $25,000, I'm going to go here, and I'm not dumb. I'm very clever with these things. I will do this. I'm going to buy $5,000 worth of XRP now. I've still got 20,000 left. Remember this now. So now I'm just patiently waiting. I don't mind if I buy it here at that level there of 31 cents. I'm not going to buy more than that. Now I'll just simply wait because you ladder in your buys. You buy 5,000 there, 2,000 there, 3,000 there as it goes up. But you know that it potentially can come down to this point. So you don't want to buy above that level. Now you simply hold. Now you see the market drop. You see it go up. You see it drop again. At 29, it may drop to 28. Now you buy again. So you ladder in your buys. You've got time. You've got 21 days. Or me, I'm talking about me. I've got 21 days. There we go, 19, 21 days. I'm not going to be a rush. As a matter of fact, about 12 days. But it doesn't matter if you still have money left. If I have money left over now, waiting to see what happens at 10 September. I will even buy there. I will wait and even buy there when I see a breakout here at 40 cents. Because XRP is going to go up extremely high. So remember I said I'll break that 10 Bitcoin up in 4 lots. Then I'm going to go back to Ethereum. This is the 4-hour chart. Yep, there we go. I'm going to buy 5,000 right about there. Now, let's have a look at the daily chart. It shows that it's going to go up. So I may just wait and see for some drops and add 1,000, 2,000. You ladder in your buys. You don't spend the money all at once. Because remember, guys, although I give you this algorithm analysis, what if the market does this? It goes up there. See that drop there? What if it does that? And bang, comes up again. That means that you buy because the overall, what's overall going to happen with Ethereum. It's not, guys, I can tell you now, it's like I said to you the other day. I said that Bitcoin will not drop. It's going upwards now. But the media and the evil people want you to believe that it's going to drop. Sorry, I'm still busy with this. But then with Litecoin specifically, I'm starting to buy here. Remember what I said here? We're still at when we still at the 10 Bitcoin. So we with Litecoin. Remember I said that I'm expecting big moves here. Now this is what you can do. See that point there, and let me just put a figure in there. I'm going to wait at that level there. Exactly that brown. If Litecoin breaks $83 and moves above that brown line, I buy a lot more because it means it's broken support. Or sorry, broken resistance. Anyway, guys, I don't want to hammer too long on that. You get my point. What are the other questions, Wendy?
Cal is next, then Vince.
Okay. Okay, Cal, go ahead.
Okay, thanks, Marius. As always, good to hear you. Quick question about Backed. What do you expect if they do launch September 23rd, how that might impact Bitcoin and the alts?
Okay, guys, this is the thing, what's going to happen. And remember I said last week that I didn't want to release any data yet. And I'm probably going to explain to you what's going to happen here after 9 September. It's got to do with Backed as well. Now, Backed, I think we need to forget about Backed, you know, because how many times have they promised things will happen and won't? But I'm going to explain to you somewhere here at 9-10 September, after this time frame, we see financial institutions jumping on board like crazy. These financial institutions start buying Bitcoin, and listen very carefully, guys, they're buying Bitcoin, not as much Bitcoin, okay? Okay, so understand that. Bitcoin is not their favorite coin. They buy a bit of Bitcoin, but then they start buying Ethereum, Litecoin, Bitcoin Cash, XRP, and Digibyte. But more important, guys, what do they not buy? Those are the coins that you don't want to hold. All these coins, if you go to CoinMarketCap and you go past 100, the first 100 there, the top 100, anything past that, I really recommend, guys, that you pay close attention, get out of those coins and move into big name coins, like the coins I just mentioned to you. Remember in the beginning of the year, we said that there's going to be 1,000 to 2,000 coins, they will simply just disappear off the radar. We've seen that in our data, that the coins are minimized. Coins like, for example, what was the coin that we were talking about on the previous call, just before this one? Was it Link, I think? Chainlink. Chainlink is the other one, guys, that just be very careful holding Chainlink. I wouldn't even hold it. You know, so there's a big warning. You need to go back and do your research. And my opinion, I'm just telling you now. Now, that's why I came out with that new model portfolio about 2 months ago. We saw what's going to happen here in the future. And we said, start moving your portfolios into these coins. Go again and have a look at the latest report. You will see on the top of that report or somewhere in the report is the model portfolio. We talk about the coins, the top 10 coins that you need to hold, and also the other coins that you may want to keep in your portfolio like IOTA, EOS, NEO. And guys, there's a lot of dirty talk and bad talk about EOS. It's going to make you money. Don't make your money on it. They are going to buy EOS as well. They are doing it right now. From my calls that I had with big financial investors, confirms to me that they are getting ready. If not, they're already buying those coins that I mentioned. Okay, okay, Vince, are you there?
Yes.
There we go. I was going to say you fell asleep, but I know you don't. You don't fall asleep because I see you on Twitter all the time.
My paper, man. You know I print these reports out.
Go ahead.
You have a question for me? You're just waking me up.
What kind of coffee do you like, Vince?
What kind of coffee? Oh. They've got great African coffee, and then Kona is pretty good.
Yeah, Wendy and I, we bought this fancy coffee machine, $3,500. But then I went and bought a Breville, you know, just the coffee one is $50, $80, and it makes this filtered black coffee. That's all I want. It's the best coffee in the world. You know, like real American coffee. When you go into a diner and they fill it up.
Well, you've been from South Africa. My brother had a safari camp in Botswana. That coffee would hold up a spoon. Vertical. Let's wake you up in the morning.
Go with Bill. Bill has a question.
Okay, Bill, go. You've got a question there.
Hey, Marius. So, quick question on that. On where we're at right now in Bitcoin, if we go up through Y, do you see us just slicing through that resistance line right there, or do you think we're going to go up, break out of that, come back, or just go straight up to Y?
I think we can have
algorithm.
Yeah, I think we can have a bit of a resistance here to break this level here. That 13,000. And guys, let me just explain to you this. Can you see this high point here, 14,000? We should have never ever gone that high. It should have stopped here at about 12,000. Remember, we had our data initially at 12,000, and then it went surprisingly, broke through to 14,000. Now, when it comes here to this level here, it's going to have resistance here, possibly at about 12 or 13,000, trying to break through. It's a mathematical resistance point, and that's why I believe that we are potentially going to go sideways, because this movement here, remember here we said that we're going to go up here and then it's going to have resistance. That is exactly the resistance I was talking about. So because Bitcoin has not yet gone to that point and had that resistance point, it could be that it goes up here somewhere now over this weekend, perhaps over this weekend. It will defy this weekend. Every weekend is a drop, but this weekend may be a rise in price in the next 2 days. And when it gets there, we're going to have a bit of resistance, Bill, and then I believe it can break out. Now, have a look at Litecoin. It could perhaps be that the first 14,000, maybe 12,000, I don't know, maybe 14,000. It could be that that first, if I draw Bitcoin here, Bitcoin could do that. It could go sideways and then spike. So it could coincide.
So if you go back to Bitcoin real quick, drop the yellow line, drop it down a bit. Go down right to the top of right down just a little bit more, right about 11.5, 11.6. So I'm thinking it might even have a little challenge right there at that 11.5 to 11.7 area, and maybe we go there because that line, that resistance. I'm just wondering. My mind just can't help.
Oh, I see what you mean. Oh, that point there. Yeah.
That's the fib low.
Yeah, look,
that's
it could.
Fibonacci.
Yeah, it could be that it comes here.
Yeah,
and does that.
That's what I was thinking.
That could also happen, and I'll show you now. That will only be about and then it could do that. So it could do any of this. But look at this. You know, we did it on the previous webinar to Africa. See that one there's about, it should be about actually 15, around about there 15. Now Bitcoin likes to play in the 29 to 30 range, and this is what we said. We said that if it goes up from here to that 29%, see there,
that's a great number.
Remember, Bitcoin loves 29%. Since the beginning of the year, every move is 29, 29, 29. So that tells me that it actually breaks through this resistance here and goes up to this level here of about 12 to 13,000, which leads me to believe that we could have a bit of resistance there, break through, and there you go, sideways and then up. Guys, look, regardless of what Bitcoin is going to do, it's like I said the other week, it's going to go up. This Y leg and Z leg, it must complete. I've seen it so many times in Bitcoin, and eventually it does happen. Now, think about this now. If we look at Litecoin, this is our data on Litecoin. Litecoin shows a spike upwards. Let me just I removed some stuff. Many people have said to me the charts are getting too confusing. So I just want to keep the charts really clean, and I've moved some technical indicators as well that we don't need for now. Oh, the other thing is also, guys, I wish I could show you this, but all these technical indicators are coming down like this. They coming from the bottom like this. Everything is coming like this. Now it's due to make a turn. They're all going to do this. Remember about probably 3 or 4 months ago, we had something similar like this. And that's when we said that Bitcoin is about to break out. So all altcoins are about to break out. Parvis, let me just quickly show the Bitcoin dominance as well. Parvis also sent me some information yesterday. Let me just see where that is. The Bitcoin dominance, where is that now? Okay, well,
you can go to Coin Market Cap, Mark.
Yeah, I just had it here earlier, but I don't know where that is. Bitcoin, USD. Anyway, if there's any questions, we'll answer them for now, guys, if there are any.
Hey, Marius, this is AJ.
How you doing?
I have one question about Bitcoin. Is like you said earlier, after hitting 19 to 20,000, it will go back to 14,000. Is it still possible to go back to 14,000?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah. So what we see here, remember what I said earlier? I said that we're probably going to get to a high point. I don't know exactly where that high point is, you know, because remember, because of this drop, I'm thinking that we're going to go to 17.7. At that point, we have a drop, and it comes back. It retests 14,000. It goes up again. It comes down, and then it breaks the 22K. That 22K is a number that we are watching. Okay, so that's more or less, guys, what you can see the pattern play out. Up, down, and then way up. Once we get, if we break that 22,000, we are still checking to see what's going to happen at that point. But if we break the 22,000, Wendy and I, we're going to go to Fiji. We're not going to buy the Fiji coin. Somebody asked last time, what is Fiji? What coin is that? It's not a coin, it's an island. We're going to go to the island, and if you guys want to join us there when we hit or break 22, I'm going to go away for a week, because then I know that Bitcoin is going to go to very, very big numbers.
So Marius, one more question aligned with it. Do you still think disbelief is still not done, and this should come in around October?
No, disbelief is done.
Okay.
Yeah, we've hit the bottom. Disbelief is over now. Remember here, that B, that one here, the B for Litecoin, that's the low for Litecoin. The low for Ethereum is low. Remember that low date of ours was 15 August 2019, so we nailed that date within a day or two, and we don't want to brag about it. It's not about being right all the time, guys. We just need to be mentally fit to handle what's happening, and we have to be humble and keep our feet on the ground. So we don't want to be arrogant about stuff. As soon as you're arrogant and you say that you make all the right calls, then bang, Bitcoin's like a horse and it throws you off.
Marius, this is Duncan. I just want to ask you, what do you think of holding Dash?
Oh yeah, Dash is okay, yes.
It's okay to hold?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, good, thanks.
I have a question, Marius.
Yeah, sure, go ahead.
Is there going to be an event near the 10th, 11th of September that is going to cause the breakout in all of these coins? Or is it going to just be financial institutions piling in and buying up everything?
Yeah, guys, this is the thing, and that's a good question. You'll see that all the analysts around the world are talking about a big event that's going to happen. And guys, there is no big event. It breaks out. And remember last week I said I don't want to tell you, or I don't want to give too much information out. But let me just tell you, there's no big event that causes Bitcoin to break. What it is just simply people are piling up on Bitcoin, market sentiment changes, and people are moving money from world stock markets and from the bank accounts and from everywhere just into cryptos. Big financial institutions come on board. Now, it's not going to be an event that you see and hear about on the media. Bitcoin is just going to take off, and people are going to go like, I don't want to miss the boat, and everybody piles on. And guess what? we will have already made 500 to 1,000%. And if you look at compounding growth, you'll make a lot of money. I just quickly, guys, want to go through the market cap dominance. Part of us sent this to me yesterday, and we've been looking at that. Didn't really pay close attention to this because we knew that Bitcoin. Remember, I said that Bitcoin can go to 73, 74. So let's say if Bitcoin goes to that level there. Have a look here, and this lines up with our data. And part of us, are you okay if I share this data or?
Yeah, sure, absolutely.
Okay, so basically you look here at about your 5 legs down, and I don't want to get into too much technical data here, but let's just say that the last leg, or let me do it a little bit different. I'm going to go here and say that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 legs. And then what happens after that is that you could potentially see a large drop, similar to something like this, close to this level here as support. See support line there, something like that. Uptrend again, where that will become resistance. And then a drop close to that point. So that's how we've always seen that. And part of us, when you sent me that yesterday, it was just confirmation that we believe that we are correct. Now, in this drop, see if the Bitcoin dominance drops, what happens with the altcoins? Altcoin season starts. And when does altcoin season start? 9-10 September. So you're going to see that Bitcoin, and this is why I say that Bitcoin must still go up this 29%, and then another 29 or 30%. That gives us this target here of about 17,000 for the high point, in my opinion, for Bitcoin. Then Bitcoin drops and it loses Bitcoin dominance. So I do believe that maybe we are going to see, like I said here, we're going to go up here, sideways, and maybe here on somewhere we can have that uptrend. Somewhere, guys, in that point there is going to be the high point. Between now, 21 days, around
So
about
Marius,
21 days.
Marius.
Yes, Parvas.
Oh, sorry about that, whoever was trying to speak. So basically, when this old season does happen, let's say a coin like Ethereum or Litecoin, they more than likely will increase in BTC value, and probably not so much in the USD value then.
Now, this is the thing, Parvas, it actually starts increasing in both, in Bitcoin value as well as US dollar. In the beginning of the year, we said that make sure that you farm, the US dollar will take care of itself. You're going to see that when this starts moving upwards here after 10 September. And guys, I really hope that we are right with this, because to make these calls so far ahead in the future, remember this from 60 or 70 days ago, we said that we're going to come to a point where there are 5 coins that's going to go up 1,000% plus. If we are correct here, people are going to make insane money. But what's going to happen is alt season starts, Bitcoin drops. Because people will be taking Bitcoin out, converting it into the 5 coins. Not necessarily the 5 coins, but have a look at coin market cap. I would probably stick with the top 100, maybe top 80. But there are still some of those that you need to avoid. Go and study those coins. Make sure they've got a working product. If they haven't got a working project and their team is not big enough, guys, leave them alone. Okay, so we see Bitcoin dominance as well as US dollar rise. Any more questions there?
Marius, Martin here.
Yeah, so
last week you mentioned probably you will step out 100%. Do you still that as a probability?
Oh, absolutely. I haven't changed anything here. Let's have a look. Remember what I said is when we get to, when you get here to Bitcoin, Remember what I said with Bitcoin. Bitcoin is going to drop here. Wherever that high point is, it's going to drop and come back to 13 or 14,000. It's going to go up here again, break that. The points that I'm going to get out, I'm going to get out at that point there, out of my own portfolio, the entire portfolio. This means that cryptos will also drop. That means that Litecoin will drop, Ethereum will drop, maybe only a small percentage, 10, 20, or 30%. That's what they will drop. But nonetheless, at this point here, I'm going to get out because I'm going to come back and buy everything on the bottom here. Remember, the farming option, the farming in Litecoin, I'm going to mention two things here, is going to be incredible big, guys. But what you need to understand, when I say that there's going to be a breakout, remember, there's a breakout. It's not a spike. I think a lot of people misunderstand me, and they think that it's going to just go like this overnight. That in one point it's going to be $100, and 2 days later it's going to be $500. It doesn't happen like this, guys. It's going to be, let me show you what's going to happen. You're just going to have larger spikes. It's going to go like this, it's going to drop. It's going to go like this, it's going to drop. It's going to go like this, it's going to drop. But the momentum is completely upwards. Now, remember what I said. Most of you that were here, XRP is a little bit different. XRP does this move. That one, yeah, is going to be visible, breaking out over 21 days. Let's just move the arrow something like this, you know. So XRP goes up and up and up, and every day it just makes a higher high. So when Litecoin drops, it could coincide with a drop for Bitcoin. Now, remember this, although we say that XRP will just simply move up, you're going to find that XRP could potentially go like this, but the next day have a drop like this. And the next day just goes up, and the next day, for 21 days, it just simply goes up. But it doesn't go up in one day from 35 cents to $5 in 2 days. It doesn't do that. And I think we're going to, the word spike, we're going to take it out of our vocabulary actually. It's a breakout, a move upwards. Momentum is upwards. I hope that makes sense. But Martin, let me just say, once we get to this point here, we will have a better idea of market structure, market price, what's happening in the entire market, and we'll come back and give advice on that again. I think, Boris, did you wanted to ask a question as well? Or?
Yeah, Marius. I wanted to ask you about Litecoin and Ethereum one more time here. Just want to make sure I understand. So are we pretty much saying that this is a short-term bottom, or this is the bottom for those coins, and we should be safely buying?
Oh, absolutely.
And then when they do go up with Bitcoin, when Bitcoin reverses back down again, so will they. So I guess I'm trying to understand, you know, if I should at some point, you know, sell and then buy again. And well, I know I want to do that. We just, right now, we just expect to move a Bitcoin up to 17,000. Percentage-wise, it's a lot less than what's expected from Ethereum and Litecoin, correct?
No, it's almost the same percentage because look here, same as last week. Remember what we said is that from this bottom here right to that top, we expect about a 71% maximum in Litecoin. But look at Bitcoin. From this point here on the bottom right to that point, there's almost about a 67, 70%. It's the same percentage.
Okay. Also,
yeah, it's the same as last week.
Yeah. You mentioned SEC. Isn't this a postponement again, not a denial? It's not a denial of the deal.
I don't know when an ETF will be approved or not. I don't know what's going on there, guys. There's so much fake data there. We've stopped following it because, you know, I think there's so many fingers in the pie who want to make decisions, who want to make money out of it, and some people are unethical in that. So we stopped watching it. But what I can tell you is that we see big institutional money coming in, But remember this, I've always said that the institutional money is not what's going to drive cryptos upwards. It's people like you and me. It's the world population jumping on board. Even if institutional money doesn't come in, you're going to see a big spike. The world population is going to jump into Bitcoin and cryptos.
There is also BACT going live, I believe, in September. I read that somewhere, so that could be a catalyst.
You see, from what I hear, institutions have got a lot of money and they're sitting with the money ready to buy. And I think it's going to be a domino effect. Once, I know that Fidelity, for example, has been buying Digibyte slowly but surely. And I know that because I've spoken to one of their money managers, and they didn't want to move the market, and they constantly buying Digibyte every single day. They've been doing it when it was a higher price. They keep doing it because they don't care about the price. They want to accumulate Digibyte. And once these people get probably free hand, it's going to be like a domino where institutions will start buying. But I believe that the world population together, that money is huge. It's going to come into cryptos. You just need to have a look and see what's happening in Africa. Guys, it's incredible, Wendy. Africa is blowing up. Yeah, okay.
Yes, they are. Ram has a question on XRP.
Okay, Ram, do you want to ask a question on XRP?
He wants you to do the XRP target like you did with Digibyte.
Yeah, guys, we don't want to get into targets here. I can just show you with XRP where we see XRP long term. Let me just see if this. Yeah, there's a target price on XRP that we have of approximately. Let me just get into that. Now I'm just going to leave the comment here. Of about a high point, the maximum high point of about $16. Okay, but see that one there. Now, I'm not saying it's going to reach that target because we are going to trade it for 21 days and then we are going to get out of XRP. Now, the 21 day, in my opinion, brings it up here to about $7. But when we get into that, I'll get you a little bit more up-to-date data. First of all, let's see if we are correct that we are going to have this breakout. You know, we must first get past this point here where we're going to go up to 0.38, drop to 0.29. And when that breakout happens after 10 September, I'm going to get you incredible data after 10 September. I just don't want to present it now.
Marius,
Oh,
isn't
Dr.
it better
Christopher.
to wait to buy Ripple? Because, you know, the percentage gain is less than Litecoin or
Yeah,
Bitcoin.
that is true. Remember, that's what I said in the tweet. I said, don't buy Digibyte and XRP now if you want to make more percentage. In my case, it's different. You know, I've already bought. I'm lathering in because, you know, I've got a lot of investors' money as well, and we need to place the money somewhere. And you can't be overexposed on one coin. But if you want to make money, the best is now Litecoin. Remember, I've said that. I said, buy Litecoin. Take your profit there of 60 or 70%, and then just simply hold and watch. You know, if you come up to that level there, and let's say, for example, we hit 120, 128, and you sell, don't feel that you must buy something. Just put the cash somewhere or have it in a stable coin and wait till the market come down here on the bottom and you buy Litecoin again at 90, or you buy XRP at a low, or you get into Digibyte on the low. Guys, there's going to be you have to be so methodological, write your goals down, tell yourself what you plan to do. Each one has a different strategy. Dr. Christopher.
Marius, hopefully you can hear me okay here. I'm in a different headset here. Can you hear me okay?
Yes, we can.
Okay. Listen, as you know, I'm kind of the Litecoin believer, and I'm real happy with the projections that are anticipated with what I have invested. However, when you were talking about Digibyte, I don't know that I've ever heard you speak about any coin that has that kind of potential, that 17 to 34,000, which causes me to revisit and rethink Litecoin. I'm wondering if there isn't more wisdom in the vesting of Litecoin, and I mean 17,000% is huge. And
Yeah,
going, why not buy both?
Yeah, Christopher, this is why you and I probably need to have an offline conversation. But guys,
All right.
if I had Christopher's portfolio, then I would probably, I'd still leave 90% in Litecoin, because remember, Litecoin for me is more sure than Digibyte. I'd probably move 10% of Litecoin into Digibyte, but not now. If you can get up to this high point, you have 128 and you sell there, and then you take that and you wait and you buy Digibyte at that point. It's worth it, guys, those 5 coins to spread your risk. Use one coin as your major coin. So let's say if you like Litecoin, you keep majority in Litecoin. It's a safe strategy, guys, because Litecoin is potentially going to go to 3,000. Well, let's take the word potentially out. I tell you now, it's going to go to somewhere close to 3,000, maybe before the end of this year. It's going to skyrocket. And if it doesn't do it this year, it's going to do it January or February. So for me, that is something that I really studied, and I'm happy with what I see in my entire data. Now, keep in mind, guys, I'm going to warn you, Litecoin is going to disappear off the face of the earth. Not now, but in the future. And that date, I will give you that date as well. But don't worry about it now. Don't worry up till June next year. Don't worry about it now. I'm just saying, you are here not to be mentally or emotionally attached to a coin. You're here to make money out of that coin. And if Litecoin is going to do it, you make the money out of it. Then Digibyte, if you can make money out of Digibyte. And Christopher, let me just say this. Although I say Digibyte between 17 and 34,000, there's other coins that make the same or could potentially do the same. Let's go on to the next. Yeah.
Thank you for all that.
Yeah, Dr. Christopher, man, I still want you to send me that coffee. We have to.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know what happened with the coffee that you sent me. You know, the government has just decided, no, I should not have it, and they send it back. Gee.
I think Trump overtaxed it too much or something, maybe. Too much tariff on it.
Yeah, exactly. Harpreet,
Yeah, Graham, Marius, love your work, Mike, first of all. I'm just wondering on 9th of September, is it like best to sit in XRP because XRP shoots up in 21 days and then move on to like some other coins?
yeah, you can. Remember, you have to spread your risk on your portfolios. If you hold Litecoin, hold a bit of Digibyte, XRP, don't put your entire portfolio in XRP. But XRP does move. The first coin that moves from memory now is Ethereum, and then Litecoin moves. And I think then it's Bitcoin Cash, and I may be wrong, but then it's either XRP or Digibyte. I think it's Digibyte, then XRP. I did mention that in one webinar. I can't remember if I'm correct now. But XRP is one of the last ones that actually move, either Digibyte or XRP. I don't know if you can remember, Wendy. Oh no, that's it. Yeah, Digibyte moves last. It's XRP, then Digibyte. So you've still got some timing. If you see that Ethereum moves, and remember what I said with Ethereum, what's going to happen here is that it's going to come into this consolidation phase here of 21 days. Once it moves up to about 220, I can't remember the figure now, but it's in yesterday's blog post, between 220 and 230. It's just under this high point. See that one there is just under that high point. If it reaches that 230, 220, it goes consolidate sideways. And if it then breaks out here, it's the first one to break out.
Mom, you're welcome.
Okay, Mike is next.
Okay, Mike.
So, Marius, would you trade Ethereum at that point or just keep it?
with Ethereum, I have made my buy orders. I'm keeping Ethereum. I'm not selling it. And part of us and myself, who's on the call as well, have got the same inclination. We're keeping Ethereum. We're not selling it. As a matter of fact, I'm adding to positions if I get any more cash. I need to send Wendy out to go and work somewhere so he can make me more money, so that I can buy a lot more Ethereum.
So if I'll have to find someone like Wendy then.
Yeah.
So Marius, a question then. Let's say I've got free Bitcoin that I was able to basically get all my money back out. So I got it free and clear. Would you make a move and exchange into Ethereum at this price, that one Bitcoin, or don't touch Bitcoin, leave it alone? And I'm talking long term.
Yeah, look, the date, if I understand you correct, the date that I'm going to get out of Bitcoin completely, well, not completely, I'll probably still hold a small 5% there, is when we reach this high point here, wherever that high point is, close to 17,000. Because remember, guys, here at 10 September, 10 September, that's when I'm going to get out of, maybe it's just, yeah. Yeah, there's at that point here, that high point there, I'm going to get out of Bitcoin, because remember what I said on 9, 10, 11 September, that is going to be the change where altcoins are going to outperform Bitcoin. So why would I want to be in Bitcoin? I want to be out, so I want to be in altcoins.
So you would make a move then, not now?
Yeah, I would make a move at that point, yeah, because remember, I still want to take advantage of this move of Bitcoin going upwards.
Sure, no, I understand, but we're talking probably Ethereum at that point at what, $300 as opposed to 190 right now. Right?
Yeah, but let's quickly have a look at Ethereum. Let's take it up till that point there. Is that for me? Okay. So Ethereum, basically, let's have a look at the price range from, you need to take it from this red line. You look at about a 65% move upwards. It could be around about here, where Ethereum is only about 280. Ethereum is not going to outperform Bitcoin right now, but after this, after 9 or 10 September, it's going to do it. Probably around about here. But all I'm saying, Boris, remember, I'm just saying that Ethereum is the first coin to break out, to show the way. It's not necessarily that it's going to outperform price-wise. I'm just saying it's the first one to break out.
Okay, thank you, Marius.
I would hold. Remember, I've got a lot of Bitcoin. I'm going to hold my Bitcoin till 17,000. From there, I may sell, move it into cash, because we're going to see a drop, and a drop in all altcoins, like just a bit of a shock, a market shock, because Bitcoin is going to go up, all the alts are going to go up, and you guys know that nothing in the world just simply goes up and goes further up. It goes up, and there's a shock, and everything drops, and then we get a second lunge. I hope everybody understands that.
Marius?
Okay, Vince, and then Mike, yeah.
Quickly, out of the 5 coins we want to hold on this 1,000+ gains, which coin or coins have the best farming potential that you're able to identify currently?
Okay, the best farming is Litecoin and then Ethereum. But between those two, you can farm a lot. You'll increase it a lot, especially Litecoin. Because Litecoin doesn't simply just go up. Now, the other one is Bitcoin Cash. Now, Bitcoin Cash, we haven't got enough data on Bitcoin Cash. I don't know if I showed you guys this, but did you see Bitcoin Cash when Bitcoin was $10,000 last year? Bitcoin Cash was $2,000. And look where it's now, 311. We are going to see a big spike in Bitcoin Cash to a certain extent, then a drop. Bitcoin Cash, till it gets to 2,000 or on par where Bitcoin is, even a lot more. It could go to 4,000. So it's going to go up and down, up and down. You're going to see these big spikes. Your farming opportunities are going to get really good. Now, don't get me wrong, you can still farm Bitcoin. There are people that only buy Bitcoin on this call, and I've spoken to them. They've got a lot of Bitcoin, and their goal is simply just to increase Bitcoin, and they don't care about altcoins. You can still make money or farming Bitcoin. And then other coins, which I don't really will use for farming, but it could be EOS. But I'd stick with the big ones, you know, Litecoin, Ethereum. You guys, the thing is also this: you can't focus on 10 or 20 coins. Don't do it also, you know. Focus on a handful of coins, 5 or 10 coins. And that's all
Marius?
I do. I trade 5, 6, 7 coins, and that's it. Yeah, go ahead.
Can you farm BNB?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, BNB, if you, for example, sold on this high point there and you bought back here, yeah, of course you can farm it. It's a way to make money. I don't know if I showed this morning. Let me just quickly show this, guys. Can you see here why I say the world's best indicator? I'm just getting confused if I showed it this morning in the previous call, but let me just show this. Can you see this, the 2B algorithm and then the Python y-axis there? Now, this 2B, the pink line, is about to cross. This is going to be very, very bullish for Bitcoin and altcoins. It's going to do this, that pink line. And then it goes up with Bitcoin. Now, pay attention to this pink line and then the purple line. Let's go to BNB. BNB is the coin that is far ahead of everybody. Now, look here on the bottom. Can you see here the Python y-axis here? And look at that pink line. It crossed about here. Mathematically, it crossed about there. I can't remember the exact date now. But you can argue and say that Bitcoin is somewhere in this region. And this is what Bitcoin is still going to do. Okay. Now we've got the figure points there, but you can see where we're going. And these will all be farming opportunities. If we can catch them correct, we can make some substantial money. Let's go back to Bitcoin. Any other questions? Who was the other person, Wendy?
We have Eric on TRX.
Eric and yeah, guys, are there any other questions?
Yeah, Marius, if the price does not go up the next 3 days, as there's a couple of people saying L8 Wave is going to go down to a 5 down by Monday at 9,000 in Bitcoin, would your analysis just be delayed by 3 or 4 days, or at what point do we pull the trigger?
Okay, guys, there's a lot of talk all over the internet, and people have sent me a whole bunch of analysis and snippets and stuff, and it's like 90% or 99% of the world believes that Bitcoin is going to break down and go further down. I can tell you this, that we do see it in our algorithm, and I mentioned that last week and the week before as well. And this is why this point is in here, the 9147. If it so happens that this breaks further down and it comes down here and it drops below that line, that is your point where you need to start paying attention and get ready to exit the market. It could drop down to this level here in that channel, which is about 8.3, before it then goes up and break out. That is another probability. But let me tell you this, guys. If this thing drops, and it drops below the Python y-axis, and it drops further here, you may as well sell every single crypto that you own. Because then Bitcoin is going to go to 2,000. As a matter of fact, there it is. It's going to go to 1867. There. That's the target. But what will happen if this happens? It'll be like a really big drop, like literally in 5 to 6 days. And then in 10 days, it moves up like back up like you have never seen. And then Bitcoin will actually go to $1 million quickly instead of 350. So whatever happens here, and we've spoken about that, remember this? And I said, guys, there's There's nothing to worry about that yet, but we will have time because it won't just simply break down now. We will have time. It will literally show us if we drop into this 9147. I'm getting very alert, and I'll literally be watching it like I won't sleep, because if we drop below that level there, it's going to go down further. But guys, let me tell you this, I don't see it in my algorithm data. Let me show you why. Because you can't just look at Bitcoin as its whole. Remember, Bitcoin is coming to a point where the Bitcoin dominance is going to fall. We just had a look at the Bitcoin dominance, okay? It's got a little bit to go, but then it's going to fall. Now let's have a look at Bitcoin. That little bit that it has to go is this little bit here. And then Bitcoin is going to fall, the dominance. Now let's have a look at Litecoin. This is the Litecoin chart pattern. It's going to go up. This comes from our algorithm. It's not me drawing this. This point is going to go up. Ethereum, it's going to go up. Bitcoin Cash doesn't show a drop. Nothing. None of these coins, none of these 5 coins that I showing you shows a drop. Let me show you EOS, for example. Okay, it's very unlikely for EOS when you have a head and shoulders and you've come down to this low point here. Remember what I said, that high point there is that distance there. So when you get there, it's very unlikely that you can actually from this drop a little bit lower and literally go, if Bitcoin goes to 2,000, this thing must go to, I don't know, gee, go to 50 cents maybe. So it just doesn't show it in the data, you know. Now look at that pattern there, you know, barely does that happen. If it is going to happen, it must form a head and shoulders again. And there's not enough time and then drop. Now let's have a look at NEO. NEO is the other one that I'm also looking at. This tells me it's got this 5 legs, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, a ABC correction. Then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. What happens after this? It must go up. So as soon as this, and I'm watching these things, as soon as this breaks that 24B algorithm line, that orange line, and then this, sorry, let me just mute it. I just want to mute everybody quickly. The last thing I want to show you, if it then breaks that point there, we won't return back. So we're in good shape overall. Okay, Wendy says there's another question there. Harold, Harold, are you there?
All right, I'm unmuted. So, Marius, good to talk to you. I have a question about the scenario you showed with Litecoin could possibly move sideways after the near terms move upwards compared to dropping down to the $90 to $100 area. I wanted to get just a possibility, probability of the drop to the 90, 100 versus going sideways scenarios.
You mean where we are now? I think in the beginning,
so,
yeah. In the beginning
so
of the video,
you're
guys,
painting it goes up to, you were showing that it could go up to 120, 129 area. And then you have what you show on this chart that you have on the screen where it goes down to the 90 area plus or minus. But one time you showed a scenario where you said Litecoin might act like Bitcoin and just move sideways rather than dropping down to 90, 100. So I'm just wondering what your probability is on the drop versus the sideways move.
Yeah, I think what we said is that it could go sideways like this. And then come here, break out, and so it can do that and not hit that point as well. But it's a very low probability, Harold, you know, from memory, what we said. The other thing is that we could go a little bit sideways here for another day or two and then break out. something like this, and just miss that top a little bit, yeah, and then come down. So guys, anything in that region is something that we need to consider. The high point, I believe, is around about 26 to 29. We could move on for 3 days. 29 is probably next week Thursday, but expect a high point somewhere up till about 29. I hope that answers your question, Harold. I'm not sure.
Well, what I'm looking at is a farming opportunity if Litecoin goes up and then drops back down. So I'm just trying to get a feel for whether that scenario doesn't play out.
Let me just check my algorithm data here. Yeah, you see, I do believe, guys, that we are going to have, watch for a move that's going to look like this. It's literally going to go, as a matter of fact, it breaks that. Watch for a spike in Litecoin. This is literally a spike. I don't like to use that word. But if you see that, Harold, somewhere in the next 2 or 3 days, then what happens is it goes up another, it actually goes up like this to there. Let me just draw it freehand. I'll show you what happens here actually. It's actually wrongly drawn here, but it goes up here and it stays there on the top like a king's crown. And then it literally drops like this, comes back up and follows that pattern. That is what you're going to see. So look for a move upwards, and you're going to see there's going to be a candle there. There's, okay, that candle's already formed. It's going to be something like this. It's going to break through that and go up. It stays on the top there for a little bit. So you'll have ample time to get out of the market if you want to farm. So you sell on this top here at 120, between 120 and 128. The point is, let me just see here quickly. It goes higher than, it goes higher than this point. Yeah, that figure is about 128. Okay, Lonnie, are you there?
Thank you.
I think I'm next, right?
Yeah, Lonnie, go ahead. Or Harold. Harold, did you ask your question or?
Yeah, I'm finished. I appreciate your answer.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah, then it's Lonnie. I don't know, Lonnie, are you there?
I have a question too. I was next in line.
Okay, Doug, go ahead while we wait for Lonnie.
Okay, so Marius, here's my question. On the, I think it was the July, right? The top, the portfolio, the top 10 altcoins that you put it out there for us.
Mm-hmm.
You're talking about a lot of those coins having those spikes. I noticed these last couple of days, some of these coins are having some significant spikes. Do you think these spikes, it's going to start happening now, or do you think still going to be later after Bitcoin do his move?
Yeah, guys, it's going to be a little bit later. You've got 21 days. This is why I say be mentally prepared for the next 3 weeks, 21 days from here. The market is going to go up and sideways before we break out. See there, 21 days. After 10 September, that's when we start breaking out. As a matter of fact, 20 days, because we're already now in the next candle. So you look at about 20 days. But in this time, you're going to see that certain altcoins are going to spike upwards. Some will even go 120% or 200%. Some of these little unknown coins. But we believe that Litecoin will go up about 65%, 70% in that range. But mostly sideways again. There's going to be a drop. Guys, this is where people get emotionally caught out. You see that spike happening, and they get excited, and they buy and buy and buy. And everybody starts buying, and they even buy that top. Guess what happens? The market drops, and you get them with all the curse words on social media. But luckily for us, we know it's going to go to the top. We can, if you don't sell there, you simply ride it out. But if you're smart enough, you'll identify the top between 120, 128, sell, come back and buy lower. And don't necessarily sell everything. If you have 100 Litecoin, sell maybe 20 Litecoin. Come back here and use the 20 Litecoin and increase it to 25 Litecoin. So don't be too greedy as well.
Okay, so one more question, Marius. So this top 40 crypto, this one the last one you put it out, this one gonna be good until, I would say, the end of September, or it's gonna be this one for the rest of the year?
No, we're definitely going to update the top 40 crypto. You can use it now as a guideline, Harold. Use it as a guideline now, but we are definitely going to update that. I'm not going to do the update right now because we know what's going to happen here. You know, most coins will follow this pattern, up, down, sideways, and then the breakout. When the breakout comes, we are going to update the top 40 crypto report. But expect about a 65 to 70% rise in all cryptos across the board. And as I say, a coin like Storm will, out of the blue, go up 50%. And then the next day, another 20% and then drop. TRX, out of the blue, 100% and then drop. Some coins may even go up 200%. But to time it right, to know which coin will go up and which coin will drop, is going to be completely ineffective to do. The best that you can do, have a handful of coins, those 5 coins that I've been talking about. You know, these ones here, go to your reports. We talk about Digibyte, Litecoin, XRP, Ethereum, Bitcoin Cash, and Bitcoin. Those 5 coins there are very important to hold. And you can play around with NEO, EOS, BNB, WAX, AGI, Walton I, or you can change these to some that you like. But guys, my suggestion is choose your top 10 coins and trade those coins. Forget about anything else. You're going to see that Hedera Hashgraph, for example, is going to launch. They're going to come out. And people will start buying that. You're going to get so confused with a whole bunch of new coins that are going to come out shortly. But guys, don't fall for these things. They won't necessarily make it. Stick with the big name brands for now. That's where you're going to make your money. Rather make less profits, but secure your profits. If you understand what I mean.
Yep.
It's very secure to invest in Litecoin. It's secure to invest in Bitcoin. It's secure to invest in Ethereum. I wouldn't go and invest in, I don't want to mention any other coin here, but Link, for example. Why would I invest in linkage, link chain? I mean, you know,
I guess there's enough speculation on the big ones already. So
yeah, stick with the ones that big institutions are talking about.
And Marius, before I go, what is do you see some like the big money coming in these altcoins, like really quietly, like you've been speaking about Digibyte? You think that's happening in other coins too?
Yeah, absolutely. I can definitely tell you that Goldman, is it Goldman Sachs or what is the other bankable? You get Goldman Sachs and the other bank. There's a big bank. Sorry, JP Morgan. JP Morgan guys are buying Veritasium like crazy. Don't believe all this nonsense about Reggie and the SEC and all this bull. JP Morgan is buying Veritasium. As a matter of fact, when the price dropped, they bought and bought and bought. True story. I heard it directly from somebody that manages $1.2 billion of JP Morgan's money.
Mario,
So,
I heard the same story, but from a different source.
Well,
yeah,
there you go.
I double my bag on Veri for sure. But thank you, Marius.
Let's just get a question from Lonnie quickly.
Hey guys. Hey Wendy, thank you very much. Hello Marius and everyone. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, good. Quick question, just a touchstone question on KBC. It's vital, those of us who got in too heavy or in it at all and want to move it. These are the times to get out at the appropriate time and get into these exciting upsides on these other coins. Do you have any information or can you share any confirmation on what the algos look like for KBC in September?
Absolutely, Lonnie. What we see in the data from KBC, as a matter of fact, there's really good credible data To give you an idea, if I take the same data from Tron, TRX, the data comes through as distorted, either fake or manipulated. But when I look at the data from KBC, it's all good, clear data, unfabricated data, and unfake data. We can see that because you can now measure how many KBC is left. It's on CoinMarketCap, they show you. Now, we see KBC hitting just here after 10, 11, 12 September. Somewhere a week or two after that, when all these coins move, that we see KBC hit about 12 cents. I would recommend that if you haven't sold yet, that you probably sell a portion of KBC and move that then into different or various altcoins, like the ones that we spoke about. Now, for me personally, I'm holding my KBC. I don't want to sell it. It's a small part of my portfolio. So I'm still holding some KBC. I've still got BUNB. There are some things, positive things happening with KBC, but you should not be overexposed, guys, into KBC. If KBC is about 5% of your portfolio, that's good. 15%, yeah, that's good too, but not 90 or 100%. So at any opportunity here after 9 or 10 September, when you see KBC move at 12 cents as a critical point, get rid of that and move that into altcoins. Again, guys, not financial advice, just to make sure for the SEC.
Thank you very much, Marius. You guys take care.
Faith is next.
Faith. It's such a beautiful name, Faith. Wow, it's Faith. Are you there or?
If not, we'll go to Cal.
Marius,
No,
it's nice to see your hair today, Marius, without the hat.
Yeah, absolutely. I love my hats, man, you know. And I like to go and clean the pool and put my hat up and stand in the sun, and you know, it's just nice. It's nice to do it.
Okay, well, we'll skip Faith and go to Cal.
Cal, are you there?
I am, thanks. A quick question also on Wax. They were just served by the SEC for possible issues with their ICO. Any update on that by any chance?
I've seen that, but I haven't had time to read all the data related to it. But guys, remember this: the tall trees will catch the most wind. Wax is a great coin to hold. I tell you what, don't be surprised if that thing goes 6,000% in a very short period of time, upwards. That's why I said in the beginning of the year, Wax, AGI, SingularityNet, and Walton Coin, put $500 or $1,000 into it and just simply keep it. Is there something about them that could happen? But I don't know if anybody here has got any more information on what is happening with the SEC there. I don't see an issue with Wax, but we will go back. I've got the data to read. Cal, are you based in California?
No, I'm not.
Oh, I just wanted to make sure it's not. Did you and I communicate in this week? You're not Calian.
No, I'm someone else.
Okay, no, that's all good.
Yeah. And I guess the next question about that related to that is that increase of 6,000, what time range do you see that occurring? Is that like in the next 3 months or next 6 months or next year, or is there?
In the beginning of the year, I didn't know when it's going to happen, but as we got through the year, I'm now starting to realize that it could happen after 10 or 11 September in that time frame. And I don't necessarily think that it is going to spike in one day. It could, one of those coins could spike in 1 week to that level. But I do believe the time frame is going to be after September 11. And in the beginning of the year, we just didn't know. We saw these spikes in the data. But yeah, and incidentally, after this now, we've got all these big coins like Litecoin, Ethereum showing the same.
As we get closer to that date, do you think that it would become clearer which of those coins spikes significantly, or do you see them all doing that?
No, not all coins are going to do that.
Or the Walton Chain, Wax, and AGI.
Oh yeah. We will be able to look into the data. Yes, and we are now working on that. And remember this, guys. Not all the coins are going to spike. I've only mentioned 5. Yeah, these little coins, go to CoinMarketCap on page number 2, 100 onwards. Don't touch these things, you know. Be very careful what you invest in. And if you invest in those little coins, small percentage of your portfolio, 5%, group them together and say, I'm going to invest in these 10 coins. They may spike and you hold them. Okay, 10 minutes. Who's? Van. Dan Masek. Okay, yeah.
Marius, my question to you is, between the top 5 coins that you spoke of, which coin out of the top 5 will give us the biggest bang for our buck in terms of percentage gains by the end of the year?
Well, if you look at the portfolio, let me just bring this back up here. Can you see here on the screen? Sorry, guys, I'm just going to mute everybody just to get rid of all the noises here. Remember what I say here about Ethereum, that Ethereum is going to go to $13,000. Now, that's by the end of the cycle. And we believe that the end of the year cycle could be about 31 July, not necessarily 31 March, but keep that in that range. Possibly Ethereum, we see Litecoin at about 3,000. And I've just told you now that Digibyte could go up between 17 and 34,000%. Okay. And I would probably base my money. Remember, you also have to look at safety, security. I'd put my money on Ethereum and Litecoin. Short-term XRP. A little bit less on Digibyte, although it will spike. You can always add on to positions in Digibyte. Bitcoin Cash for sure. And then if you want to be safe, Bitcoin. But you're going to make less money on Bitcoin. So my top one here for something that will go up really high is probably number 1, Ethereum, Litecoin, Digibyte. But it's not as simple as just saying that, Dan, you know, because at one point in Ethereum, I'm going to get out. We've already done the analysis. And I'll come back and show you guys what we're going to do. You're going to jump around from coin to coin. And it's not easy. You guys see how complicated it's getting now. Can you see how not all the coins are doing the same? Look at the pattern here for Litecoin. Okay, see that high point? Now look at the pattern for Ethereum. It just goes slightly upwards. This is where a lot of analysts all around the world are getting confused because they haven't got algorithm data that can work these things out. And they make analysis on Bitcoin and they think that all the cryptos will follow Bitcoin. No, guys, it's getting so complicated now. Very complicated. A year ago, I did one report, a Bitcoin report, and I said, and then people ask me, but where's the Litecoin report? Then I say, no, just follow Bitcoin. It will follow Bitcoin. We never made more than one report, one Bitcoin report. Now we have to make 5 different reports because all cryptos are different. They're diverging away from Bitcoin. And in the future, cryptocurrencies are going to be like the world stock markets. Do you realize that when Apple goes up, other coins do different stuff? Apple goes up, Microsoft drops. Google goes up, Apple drops. It's going to be the same, guys, in cryptos. We are just lucky now to have our hands on cryptos. But in a year and a half from now, it's going to be totally different. Many coins will disappear. It's going to be a bunch of coins left. And they're not going to do the same thing every day because they're going to be in the market. They're going to be workable products. They now are going to rely on companies using them, what contracts they get, and the contracts they get will bump the price up. So you're going to have to do a lot more research, and you won't be able to trade more than 3 or 4 cryptos. You're going to have to choose 1, 2, 3 and trade them. I hope that answers the question then. And this is why I said the easy money is now. This is easy money that we're going to make, although it sounds and looks difficult, but the big money is coming. Any other questions there, Wendy? Or?
Yes, we have Amir and then Darren.
Amir, how are you doing there in England? I think they gone to bed because it's late in England as well, you know.
Okay, try Darren.
Darren, anybody else? Guys, if
Hi,
there's any,
Marsh. Hi,
yeah,
it's Amir
go
here.
ahead, go ahead, Amir.
I had my mic off, sorry. Half asleep here.
It's late.
Hi, couple of questions. One on silver, because I'm looking at getting in on a bit of silver. Quick question. This chap who owns about 80% of the world's silver, who's under investigation now, what do you think is going to happen to the price of silver when they freeze everything? And what are they going to do with this silver, do you think? And will it affect the market? And the second question is, you mentioned Hedera Hashgraph. How does one get in on that? Because I can't find anything on that.
Okay, Hedera Hashgraph, they will release something here around about 26 in next week somewhere, and then you'll be able to get in. I don't know, Bill, you probably have got a little bit more information on Hedera as I have.
Mars, just what I know is that the accredit, they're still, from my understanding, still distributing tokens to the accredited investors and that small group of people that they allowed access to the coin. That was to happen all through the month of August. Then after that, I'm not sure when they release the coin to the general public.
Okay, you'll see some information posted. They'll come out next week somewhere with something about Hedera Hashgraph. Just keep an eye on that. But guys, again, when you invest in Hedera Hashgraph, use a small percentage of your money if you want to get into it, you know. Now, with regard to silver, silver is one of the most heavily manipulated currencies. I call it a currency, actually, in the world, although it's a physical metal. It's been used around hospitals and everywhere, solar panels, all around the world. Now, in my opinion, it should be about 136, 38, somewhere in that region. But it's just manipulated. Now, I don't know what's going to happen with silver, but with all the manipulation and stopping it and whatever, they can't manipulate silver forever. But silver is a good buy. I don't know, Amir, if you've got more information on that, but...
No, I mean, I just started getting into silver because I got to put some money somewhere, taking out of fiat. It's just I kind of worry about if this, is it JP Morgan, is he the chap that has 80% of the world's silver? I mean, if they freeze it,
they've got,
or
Amir,
release
they
it, or
sit
dump it
on
on the market,
a huge
what would they
amount of
do when they
silver.
confiscate it?
Bill, what did you say there?
No, they're not going to confiscate it from JP Morgan because JP Morgan buys on behalf of the U.S. government.
Okay.
So even though the U.S. government will deny that, JP Morgan is allowed to do it because they're buying on behalf of the U.S. government. So
now,
they're not going to get.
One quick thing, Bill, if you think about this now, guys, look, the price of silver is going to skyrocket. Now, we know that these bankers have got a huge amount of silver. Now, when you hold a lot of physical silver, you have to store it somewhere. That storage is very secure and expensive. Okay? They want to recover their cost. I tell you now, when this comes out, when they eventually bring a product to market and they want to sell it, they want their profits. It's going to make this it's going to make silver jump. And I see it jumping way past the all-time high. I will not be surprised if we hit $100, a 3-digit, before the end of this year. Yeah, so simply when you buy silver, what Wendy and I do, we buy 1 kilogram bars whenever we can afford it. And we stash it. Silver is very undervalued. The banks know it. Okay, one more question and then we're going to go, guys.
Thanks, Marsh.
I had a question on Bitcoin Black.
Yeah, Matt.
Oh,
yeah.
Have you heard anything about that and when they're going to do their release of the coins?
I own Bitcoin Black. I haven't had a look at Bitcoin Black for ages now. I don't know what's happening there, Matt, at this moment, but I will go back and research that.
Well, I put in on it, and you know, I've got some coins, but they haven't been released yet, and was just curious if there's any chatter on it and when you might expect them to release those, because I'm very excited about this project.
Yeah, the good thing about Bitcoin Black is they're an Australian company. They're under heavy financial review as well, so they have to be honest and ethical here in Australia. Is you get locked down with the SEC very quickly in Australia if you do anything unethical in that sense. So they're a great company. I think I can't remember how much I bought, but when I bought it, it was really cheap, and it's gone up about 4 or 5 times since then. So
Marius.
if you own Bitcoin Black, hold it. Yes, go ahead.
Yeah, I got an email from Bitcoin Black last night. So I think they're going to start releasing coins pretty soon. You might want to check your emails.
I will.
Yeah, all my emails of Bitcoin Black goes into a separate folder. As I say, I've never actually reviewed them. And guys, I didn't overextend myself with Bitcoin Black. And even if you want to buy a bit of Bitcoin Black, go there. You know, just buy a bit. Okay, all good.
Well, I was part of the pre-ICO, and I got like 900,000, but they haven't been delivered yet.
Yes, it's still safe. I believe it's safe, and it will come around.
Okay, that's fine. I am patient, and we'll wait.
Okay, guys, I just want to stop this recording. This is the end of the presentation. I'm just going to stop the recording. Thank you for everybody that attended and for everybody that has watched this video.